our God for our lives, and you all can sit because ta-da, I'm the teacher for the day. I know y'all see online that it's Chief Prince Yadiel. I am not Chief Prince Yadiel. Prince Yadiel was not feeling well, so we asked the Most High God to even give him healing and allow his day to get better. But you know how it goes when one person can't be, somebody else has to step up. So I thank the Most High God for giving me the understanding, and I've read this a million times, but every time you read it, you find something new to talk about. And this is the reason why we go over these portions year by year. I don't care, I've been doing Shelach all my life, but you're going to see something new and something else that you can talk about. So I pray that the Most High God will give me the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding to bring forth this lesson, and that I hope that you all get something out of it. I hope that I don't make any mistakes. If I do, it's on me, and I'm sure one of my brothers would correct me, but let's get into it. But before we go, right, first thing I want to say is Kyle just went over the Maftis portion. And if y'all know anything about this portion, Shelach, this is not, Joshua has been through a lot. Yes, sir. With the portion that we just read in the book of Joshua, it's the same thing that he went through before, right? So Joshua knows a little thing about courage. And there's a big word, this word fear. Fear, small word. That word can conquer you. It can take over your spirit. Fear. You fear to start a new job. You fear when you go on an interview. You fear when you're about to start something new. You know, you all of these fears will take hold of you. You fear to start a company because you don't know if you're going to make it. Fear will stop you from progressing. Fear is a monster. So when we learn to overcome our fears, we'll be a better people. We'll be a more spiritual people, a more godly people. Because now, instead of fear, we'll have courage. The Most High God kept telling Moshe, Chazak ve'ematz, be strong and courageous. That's right. So let's talk about that a little bit today. We're in the 13th chapter of the book of Numbers. Hallelujah.
Starting from verse 1. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, send out men, that they may spy out the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Yisrael. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a prince among them.
Let's talk about that. These are not just any ordinary run-of-the-mill men.
Nah.
These are princes.
That's right.
These are noblemen. These are heads of their father's houses. These are the men that you go to when you need counsel. These are the men that you go to when you have a situation that needs taken care of. This is not just your regular Adon. This is a Nasik. These are Rashim. These are chief men. Tamshi.
And Moshe sent them from the wilderness of Paran according to the commandment of Yahweh, all of them men who were heads of the children of Israel.
Again, Moshe never going on his own word. He always gets counsel and direction from the Most High. The Most High didn't say, hey, send them south, and Moshe said, no, you know what? I'm going to send y'all west because I think this is a better route that y'all should take. Moshe always followed instruction. Tamshi.
And these were their names. Of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua the son of Zakur. Of the tribe of Shimon, Shaphat the son of Hori. Of the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb the son of Yefuneh. Of the tribe of Yissaschar, Igal the son of Yosef. Of the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Nun.
And this is the same Hoshea. Do y'all know this is the same Hoshea the son of Nun that we read in Joshua, right? Right? That is, Hoshea is Joshua. Tamshi.
Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti the son of Raphu. Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel the son of Sodi. Of the tribe of Yosef, namely of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi the son of Susi. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel the son of Gamali. Of the tribe of Asher, Seturah, the son of Mikael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, the son of Vavshi. Of the tribe of Gad, Geuel, the son of Maki. These are the names of the men that Moshe sent to spy out the land. And Moshe called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Joshua.
So now, these are the men. Their names are important because these are the men who went out to spy. What tribe was not in this count? Levi. And why is that?
Our own portion.
Because the Most High God chose that tribe to be his portion. So they were dedicated and set aside for the Most High's service, for the tent of meeting, for all the other things that the Levites had to be in charge of. Right? Time sheet.
And Moshe sent them to spy out the land of Canaan and said unto them, get you up here into the south and go up into the mountains and see the land, what it is. And the people that dwell therein, whether they are strong or weak, whether they are few or many.
So now you are a spy. What does it take to be a spy? For one, they couldn't look like Israelites. They had to change their garb. They had to dress like the people of the land. And they sure couldn't come in there all of them at once, right? Maybe they split up in twos. Like, yo, once we get there, Don and Yissaskar, y'all gonna go over here. These two gonna go over here. These two gonna go over here. So now they have to spy out the land. That means you are going to, you know what they say, when in Rome, be as the Romans, right? So you basically want to check out the land, check out the people, check out everything. See how goodly the land is, how strong the people are. You want to check out the army. You want to get lost. You know, when you go somewhere when you're not supposed to be, then be like, hey, you're trespass. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm lost. I didn't, you know. They have to pretend to not know what's going on. They're tourists, right? Time sheet.
And what the land is that they dwell in, whether it's good or bad, and what cities they are that they dwell in, whether in camps or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it is fat or lean, whether there is good therein or not.
They had to come with a serious report. Don't just come back and tell me, yo, the land was all right, man. We was chilling. It was cool. No, he wants a detailed report. Are the people short? The people, you know, is it a fat people? Is it skinny people? Slim people? Are they strong? Do they have camps where they work out? Do they have soldiers? How's the food? Like, is the land good for growing? They want to know everything, a detailed report. That's what it means to spy out the land. Don't come and say, yeah, man, it was cool. The water was nice. You know what I mean? It was cool. We could go hang out there. No, I want to know everything. When you go on vacation, before you go on vacation, I'm sure you do you research. You want to see what's going on there. You know, what's close by, what's nearby. You don't want to go on vacation and find yourself in a roach motel, you know, around sketchy people. No, you don't want to do that. You want to do your due diligence. Time sheet.
And be ye of good courage and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Sin unto Rehob, at the entrance of Hamath. And they went up into the south and came unto Hebron, and Achiman, Shishai, and Talmai. The children of Anak were there. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. And they came unto the valley of Eshcol and cut down from thence a branch, with one cluster of grapes, and they bore it upon a pole between two. They took also of the pomegranates and of the figs.
Okay, so they mention Achiman, Sheshai, Talmai, the children of Anak, the Anachim. They mentioned them because they were warriors, right? So they were notable mention because they had to know like what we're up against.
Right.
Because when the Most High God says, hey, go in there and take that land, y'all better know what you up against. You got to know your opponent. That's basically what they're doing. And then check it out. It said they bore a cluster of grapes on a pole. We're not talking about the little New York City grapes that we get and we... You mean you had to get a pole and I'm carrying one end and another guy behind me is carrying another end? These grapes had to look like oranges. Amazing. But when the land is being cared for by the Most High God, that's what you get. He said, my eyes are forever on the land.
That's right.
Time sheet.
That place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster which the children of Israel cut down from thence. And they returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days. And they went and came to Moshe and to Aharon and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh.
Okay, so now we understand that 7 is an important number in our lives, right? We understand that 40 is an important number in our lives. For whatever reason, 40 was the time that they took to spy out this land. 40 days is it's pretty good time period to, get to know a place, an area. And let's see what happens when they get back.
And brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sendest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey.
Indeed.
And this is the fruit of it. Howbeit, the people that dwell in the land are fierce, and the cities are fortified, and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Amalek dwelleth in the land of the south, and the Hittite, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanite dwelleth by the sea, and along by the side of the Jordan.
Hold on. These are prince men. These are princely men. They wasn't punks. So what happened to their heart? That fear they start looking at the opponent like, oh man, we don't have no wins. And that fear took over. It took over them. Yeah, they came back and they said the land is great. The food, this is the food that we bought back, and it's a land flowing with milk and honey. I told y'all about the story how I really thought they had rivers of honey and milk in Israel, but yeah. That means the land was fat. It was rich. It was rich. But here's the other side of it. He said the people are fierce. They're giants. Time sheet.
And Caleb stilled the people toward Moshe and said, we should go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
Hold on. So Caleb, in the midst of all of they talking bad and trying to put fear in the people, Caleb said, nah, yo, we got to go up right now. We could do this. We could take them. The type of heart that he had was different. Because he understood that what they're doing right now, they're trying to destroy the people internally. Once you destroy a people internally, you could take them over physically. If you look at our situation here in the United States of America, what they used to call buck breaking. You take the biggest slave, muscular, and you beat him in the sight of all the other slaves. They ain't gonna be so fast to jump up in master's face. You take their spirit away from them. Because our physical attributes are amazing. We can fight, we can run, we can jump. We're natural warriors. But when you take the spirit of the people, you can't fight. Your courage just made you a little boy. But you 6'5", 250 pounds. That fear just took over. Time sheet.
But the men that went up with him said, we are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they spread an evil report of the land which they had spied out unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have passed to spy it out is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are great. All the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come up the Nephilim, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
Now, maybe these men weren't punks. Maybe they did have heart. But for whatever reason, this is the report that they bought. I don't know what the reason is, but their fear of the Most High wasn't there at that point. Their trust in the Most High wasn't there at that point. So they believed that they couldn't complete the assignment. Fear will kill you. There's a lot of people in this world that walk around in fear. There's a lot of people that's scared to leave their house because of fear. Y'all remember what COVID was, right? Was that fear? Y'all remember all them people dropping dead? That was fear, right? And then all the media, all the videos, all the everything just put us more in fear. That was some real fear. They put fear in the people. And they took our hearts. So when it was time to get a jab, if you don't get this jab, you're going to die. Everybody was out there, like, roll up my sleeves, walking around with stickers. I'm proud to get my jab. You see my sticker? Once they put fear in you, they control you.
That's right.
They can control you. Remember, this is a people that are coming out of Egypt. We're not a sovereign nation. These people were born slaves. We were born slaves in the United States of America. Where is our courage? If we keep being fearful of everything, we're never going to get out of this situation. It takes a Caleb and your Yehoshua to stand up. Or we're going to be slaves forever. And this is what Caleb is telling them. Y'all want to be slaves forever? Y'all don't even know what it is to be free. You don't even know yourself because you didn't even get a chance to get to know yourself. You can't get to know yourself if you're always under the hand of the oppressor. You don't even know the heights that you can go. Tom sheet.
Chapter 14, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and all the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aharon.
Here we go again. We always taking it out on Moshe. As if we weren't there to see the cloud, the pillar of cloud, the pillar of fire. Who sees that? Who walks through open water? The water stood up and parted so that you can walk through it. And the Most High destroyed Pharaoh and his company. We saw all of these things. These are the same people. They saw all of these things. All the wonders. They were there when the Most High God killed all the firstborn of Egypt. Firstborn of cattle, firstborn of human. But we still murmur against Moshe. Tamshi.
And the whole congregation said unto them, would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore doth Jehovah bring us into this land? To fall by the sword. Our wives and our little ones will be a prey. Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
Yeah, because we scared. Fear. Moses, why you want to bring us out here? We was good in Egypt. We had food every day. Now you got us eating manna. When we want water, we got to ask you, got to hit the rock, bring us water. At least Pharaoh gave us leeks and onions, and we had all of these wonderful things in Egypt. Moses. Now you want to slay us. You want to send us into this land so we can get killed. Our babies. Let's see what happens.
And they said one to another, let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Then Moses,
you see that? That ain't some slaves. That ain't some slaves. Hey, Massa, Billy Joe and Jonathan, I saw them. They left and they went that way toward the other. And yeah, they left the plantation, Massa. That's what they are. Ready to go back to Egypt. Yes, sir, Massa. I can show you where they went. We sick. Massa sick, weed sick. Slaves. Time sheet.
Then Moshe and Aharon fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel.
Moshe and Aharon. Moshe, it's hard to categorize Moshe because he was such a different person. He was a higher being. How we say he operates on a higher frequency. Moshe operate on a high frequency. He's not like you and me. He was different. He was wired different. He loved his people. So he fell on his face because he loved his people. I want to save y'all. Can we get right? Let's get right. I'm not trying to kill y'all. Y'all got to trust in the Most High. And then Moshe knows, listen, you're not going against me. You're going against the one who can kill you. He's pleading with them. Time sheet.
And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, who of them that spied out the land, rent their clothes, and they spoke unto all the congregation.
And this is what they said.
Saying,
are y'all crazy? Y'all want to be slaves for the rest of your lives? They rent their clothes and they like going mad. What's wrong with us? We gonna die if we stay here. Y'all want to go back to Egypt? Are y'all nuts? And they going off on these people. Time sheet.
The land which we passed through to spy it out is an exceeding good land. If Yahweh delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it unto us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not against Yahweh, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us.
They bread for us. They food. They food. That's something they say on the streets. When you food, you food.
That's right.
I mean, we're going to eat you. You're done. You're done for. He said they're bread for us.
That's right.
That heart that Caleb and Yehoshua had was like no other. They had courage. They had courage. But again, when fear takes over your life, it could consume you. We can't be afraid to do the things, and I'm talking about the things that we go through on a day-to-day basis. When you're having issues at your job and you know you have to confront this issue head on, don't be fearful. You go with the Most High God. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I had a situation on a job a few weeks ago where I've never seen this ever. I've never even heard of this. Me and my guys are working. 9 inspectors walked in on my job. 9 of them. I've never heard of anything like that. Who's this job? Who are you? What's your company? I gave him my company name. Who hired you guys? You guys are not supposed to be on this property. This is private property. We hire the guys that come here and do this and do that. Y'all didn't go through the proper channels to be working here. Where's your permit? I said, I can go get my permit. Now, listen, this guy, he talked, you should have seen the way he was talking to me. The way he was talking to me as if I was a 2-year-old child. But I held my composure. And I said, if you give me 15 minutes, I'll go get the permit. I left on my way driving. I'm saying my prayers. I said, yeah, I'll take control of the situation. When I got back to the job, not only did they want me to do the job, but they had more work for me. They say, well, and his tone changed. His tone changed. Now he was the nicest guy in the world. I'm like, what? But then my guys, you know, I got one guy. I love him to death. His name is Colin. Some of y'all met him. Guyanese brethren. He said, and I see Colin walking toward the guy. I said, Colin, this is the time. I said, and I told him just like this. I need you to exercise your right to shut blankety blank blank. I said, I'm the leader of this company. turn around. What I want you to do, go back to work. Don't say nothing. Because I know how he feel. You ain't going to talk to my boss like this. You know. I said, no, it's taken care of. But we got back. I got back. And he's so nice. And yeah, because, you know, you guys are not registered with housing. So it's proper chance that you go. I'm like, okay, well, can you show me how to become a housing contractor and show me how to do it? Oh, yeah, I can do this. And we'll talk. And the Most High God took care of it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. Finish the job. You got to put your trust in the Most High God. Whatever it is that you're going through. The Most High God got you.
That's right.
So if we don't trust, listen, we're here in the United States. We're the same people that were there in Egypt in the wilderness.
That's right.
We are the same people. We don't know what it is to be sovereign nation. We don't even know, like I said, our potential. We're a great people. Our wings didn't even spread yet. We have people in this room that can do amazing things, but y'all just don't know it yet because fear is taking over us. Time sheet.
And their defense is removed from over them, and the Yahweh is with us. Fear them not. Verse 10.
Amen.
But all the congregation bade them, stone them with stones.
Stone them. Joshua and Caleb are trying to kill us. We got to get rid of these guys, man. Mm-hmm. Nah, I'm not sending my kids, my 4 kids, man. I want to see them get married. I will. You know what I'm saying? We just fearful of everything. Oh, we going to kill these dudes, man. You know, Moses, I don't know, Moses, why is he even the leader, man? Mm-hmm. He been doing it since Egypt, man. I was good in Egypt. I mean, yeah, we had to make the bricks from the straw, but we was good. My feet hurt in this wilderness. Mm-hmm. I want some chicken. Tired of eating manna. Can we eat something other than this? We complain about everything and everything instead of making the best out of it. You know, we are the people that make the best out of a bad situation. Y'all know that, right? Mm-hmm. I think we forgot that because we're so spoiled now. Our ancestors in this country alone, you gave them potato, what they did? Mm-hmm. They did everything with a potato. They made healing remedies from a potato. Penicillin. They made wine out of potato. They made everything. We make the best out of a bad situation. So what we don't have nothing to fear. Death is nothing to fear because you're going to leave here. What you going to do before you leave here? Put your heart on. Wear your heart every day. We take our heart out and we put it in the closet. And all right, you stay there. I'm going to work now. I got to kowtow to everybody. All right? And then when you get home, you take your heart out. Where's my chicken, woman? No, why you don't wear your heart every day like that? Time sheet.
But all the congregation bade stone them with stones when the glory of Yahweh appeared in the tent of meeting unto all the children of Israel. Mm-hmm. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, how long will this people despise me? And how long will they not believe in me? For all the signs which I have wrought among them, I will smite them with the pestilence and destroy them, and will make of thee a great and mightier nation than they.
Stop. Had Moses been a different person than he was, Moses would be like, make a nation out of me? Ooh, yeah, I like that. The Mosesites. Mm-hmm. That's right. Mm-hmm. The Mosesites, yeah. That got a good ring to it. I like this. But Moshe was not that type of person. He loved his people. He didn't want the Most High God to kill all his people. Time sheet.
And Moshe said unto Yahweh, when the Egyptians shall hear, for thou broughtest up this people and thy might from among them, they will say to the inhabitants of the land, who have heard that thou, Yahweh, art in the midst of this people, and as much as thou, Yahweh, art seen face to face, and thy cloud standeth over them, and thou goest before them in a pillar of cloud by day, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now, if thou shalt kill this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, Because Yahweh was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore to them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness.
Because that's what people would say. But the Most High is everlasting. He's undisputed. He's the undisputed champion of the world, of the universe. And he will not go out like that. Because my name is on the line. It's my reputation. And I'm going to let these people know who I am. I'll punish my people. But y'all not going to punish them. I get to punish my people. He smack us 2,000 years into United States of America. To the shores of everywhere. To Brazil. To Grenada. To Panama. To Puerto Rico. Dominican Republic. Wherever. I punish my people, the Most High said. And I'm going to use you as a marker stick to punish them. But they overdid it. Now look at the mercy of the Most High God. We have people here from all walks of life, from everywhere. We have at least 6 countries in this one room. People are here from everywhere. We're waking up everywhere. The Most High God showing his mercy. He told us he's going to be merciful. And we carry on our tradition. We carry on our names, our mothers' and our fathers' names. Most High God is merciful. Time sheet.
And now I pray thee, let the power of Yahweh be great. According as thou hast spoken, saying, Yahweh is slow to anger, and plenteous in loving kindness.
Amen.
Forgiving iniquity and transgression. And that will by no means clear the guilty. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and upon the fourth generation. Pardon, I pray thee, the iniquity of this people, according unto the greatness of thy loving kindness, and according as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt, until now.
This is the great man Moshe. He's petitioning for our lives. On his knees and his face to the ground. Yah, please don't kill these people. Moshe was different. He was a different type of person. The Most High God said, I speak to him, pay, I'll pay. Mouth to mouth. Not in dark dreams. People had visions. And the vision of Ezekiel and the vision of Isaiah and this and that. And he fell asleep and he had a dream. And the Most High God didn't do that with Moses. And you dare speak against him? We are a crazy people. Time sheet.
And Yahweh said, I have parted according to thy word. But in very deed, as
according to his word. The Most High had so much love and respect for Moses. Okay, Moses. But said here. That was it. But we also know that the Most High God's word doesn't go out and come back void. Right? I don't like to skip, but as much as Moshe said, please let me see the land, let me go into the land, he asked him again, and he said, don't ask again. That's it. That's the end of this conversation. And on top of that, you still have work to do. Imagine that. Imagine your boss come to you and say, well, Nkweva, I'm going to fire you on Wednesday, but I want you to hurry up and finish this report by Tuesday. Most of us would be like, what? The what? The blankety, 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 blank report? I'm going to tell you where to put this report, how to get it there. Right? Right. Moshe said, okay, I still have work to do. Time sheet.
But in very deed, as I live, and all the earth shall be filled with the glory of Yahweh. Surely all those men that have seen my glory and my signs which I have wrought in Egypt and in the wilderness, yet have put me to proof these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice.
Why are we always trying to try the Most High God? Try your mama. Try your daddy. Don't try God. Don't play with the Most High. There's nothing to play with. You can't see him. You can't touch him. You can't conversate with him. Don't try him. He's not your play toy. Tom sheet.
Surely they shall not see the land which I swore unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that despise me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and have followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereinto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now the Amalekite and the Canaanite dwell in the vale. Tomorrow turn ye, and get you into the wilderness by the way to the Red Sea. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe and unto Aaron, saying, How long shall I bear this evil congregation that keep murmuring against me?
You see this? He said, y'all not going to go on to the land. And I'm not going to get ahead, but when the Most High God puts punishment, that's it. It's final. All your Yeladim that you said would be consumed, no, you're going to be consumed. He said, but Caleb is the one that stood up first, right? Caleb said, nah. Him and Yehoshua rent their clothes and was like, no, we can do this. And they were speaking amongst their peers, against their peers, against all the other chiefs and princes of the other tribes. But they were the only two that had heart. It's that fear. That fear will take you over. When we leave here today, just think about all the things that you want to do that stop you. A lot of times it's money. Money stops us from doing things, right? Money stops us from doing things. Sometimes your spouse will stop you from doing things that you know is good. That fear is a monster, and it will take over your life. You can't be so fearful. Let me tell you something, and I hate to go back to, my company. When I started my company, right, me working for somebody who's charging, I found out they were charging the company $175 an hour just to have me in the building. I was getting pennies. I was already in the bottom. I have nothing else to lose. Why not start your own company? So I'm just going to work for you 20, 25, 30 years and retire with a handshake. Man, you did great, man. Thank you for your service. With a foot in your cardio. Because that's what they give you. They gave you a watch, right? They give you a watch. Some people retire with a watch, right? But we can't let fear stop us from doing things. We can't. Top sheet, what verse we at?
In the middle of 26. 27. I have heard the murmurs of the children of Israel, which they keep murmuring against me. Verse 28. Say unto them, as I live, saith Yahweh, surely as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number from 20 years old and upward, ye that have murmured against me, surely ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I have lifted up my hand that I would make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun.
Because what you did was you planted a disease in the company, and the disease started to spread. Disease started to spread. Disease spread fast. Evil words spread faster than anything. You don't ever hear the good. Why don't you ever hear the good about people? Only the bad spreads, right? Chief Naftali Ben Dan. Love that brother. And when he comes up here sometimes and he says, I know some people don't like me. And you know what I say in my mind when he says that? Who don't like him? Because all he does is speak truth. You don't like truth? You don't like the good food that the Torah is bringing you? Then something wrong with you. You part of the disease. And it spreads fast. So that 20 years old and upward, because the Most High God said, you're an adult at that age. yeah, you're going to fall too. Time sheet.
But your little ones that you said will be a prey, then will I bring in them, they shall know the land which ye have rejected.
Right.
But as for you, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and your children shall be wanderers in the wilderness 40 years, and shall bear your strains until your carcasses be consumed in the wilderness. After the number of the days in which ye spied out the land, even 40 days for every day a year, shall ye bear your iniquities even 40 years, and ye shall know my displeasure.
So now we know why we got 40 years in the wilderness. For the 40 days that the spies spied the land, the Most High God said, okay, for every day, I'm going to add a year. 40 years, an 11-day journey. 11-day journey. Took us 40 years because we went over to this place. Weren't we here? I remember this rock. No, I never saw this rock. I saw this rock. We got to go this way. No, we got to go this way. 40 years. 40 years. The Most High God has all the time in the world. But he said, I'm going to give you 40 years. Why? Because he already had their days numbered. It's going to take me 40 years. It's not going to take the Most High God any time. He could have just blotted them out right there. Like he did with Datan and them, right? But he said, no, I'm going to let y'all ride for 40 years. I'm going to punish you for 40 years until y'all all die out. The only ones who didn't were who? Caleb and Yehoshua. And this is the reason we keep the Shavuot, how we keep it. Well, let's not get into that. Time sheet.
I, Yahweh, have spoken. Surely this will do unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. And the men whom Moshe sent to spy out the land, and who when they returned made all the congregation to murmur against him, by bringing up an evil report against the land, even those men that did bring up an evil report of the land died by the plague before Yahweh.
Died by the plague. So they died by sicknesses. Those men, they didn't die an ordinary death. The Most High God said, you're going to die by a disease. What's the word for plague? What's the word for plague in Hebrew? Nega. Nega. Ain't there a bunch of negas running around here today? Right? It's a plague to be a nega. Time sheet.
But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Yefuneh remained alive of those men that went to spy out the land. And Moshe told these words unto all the children of Israel. And the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning and got them up to the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we are here.
We here. We gonna go. Listen, Moses, man, please, we gonna go. We ready. We ready to fight.
And we'll go up into the place which Yahweh have promised, for we have sinned.
We have sinned. You ever heard of too little, too late? You can't play those games with God.
That's right.
You could play that game with me, because I might say, all right, man. All right, go ahead. Go do your thing, man. Right? You can't play those games with God. It's too late. The decree has gone into the universe. Time sheet.
And Moshe said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of Yahweh, seeing it shall not prosper? Go not up, for Yahweh is not among you.
It shall not prosper. Don't go. He said, don't go. God is not with you. He was with you yesterday, but today's not with you. Don't go.
That ye be not smitten down before your enemies, for there the Amalekite and the Canaanite are before you, and ye shall fall by the sword. For as much as ye are turned back from following Yahweh, and Yahweh will not be with you. But they presumed to go up to the top of the mountain. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of Yahweh and Moshe departed not out of the camp.
Because we're going to show God that we're ready. We're ready to go and forgive us. Let's go. And it said, the ark of the covenant of Yahweh and Moshe departed not out of the camp. Because he told you, don't go up. Yah is not with you. Time sheet.
Then the Amalekite and the Canaanite who dwelt in that hill country came down and smote them and beat them down, even unto CHOKMAH.
CHOKMAH means utter destruction. They beat you silly because God said, go up and get this land. No, we don't want to go up. We fearful. But then God said, well, if you don't go up, I'm going to kill you. All right, we're going to go up and go. We're going to go. It was already too late. When the Most High said, go, I gave you the land. How many times have we read this? I gave you the land. He said, I already gave it to you. All you got to do, I don't care if you go in there blind with a blindfold on. He gave you the land. All you got to do is be there. Just go in there and start swinging your sword crazy. He said he gave you the land. We don't know how to follow simple instruction. Time sheet.
Chapter 15, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye are come into the land of your habitations, which I give unto you, and will make an offering by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering or a sacrifice, in fulfillment of a vow clearly uttered, or as a free will offering, or in your appointed seasons, to make a sweet savor unto Yahweh of the herd or of the flock, then shall he that bringeth his offering present unto Yahweh a meal offering of a tenth part of an ephah of fine flour mingled with the fourth part of a hin of oil, and wine for the drink offering. The fourth part of a hin shalt thou prepare with the burnt offering, or for the sacrifice for each lamb, or for a ram. Thou shalt prepare for a meal offering 2/10 parts of an ephah of fine flour mingled with the third part of a hin of oil.
Okay, now, if you don't understand what all of this means, this is just the instructions on how you're supposed to bring your offering, what you're supposed to bring. We don't know what the third part of a hin offering is. We have never dealt with any of those things. Because we're here in this land. But the Most High God will restore all of our knowledge to understand all of this stuff. And when Most High says, okay, this is what you're going to bring up, it's going to be instilled in us. We're going to understand this, and we're going to have direction in the Levites that will be set up to, let the people know, hey, this is what God commands, and this is everything. Time sheet.
And for the drink offering thou shalt present the third part of a hin of wine and of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And when thou preparest a bullock for a burnt offering, or for a sacrifice in fulfillment of a vow clearly uttered, or for peace offerings unto Yahweh, then shall there be presented with the bullock of a meal offering of 3/10 parts of an ephah of fine flour, mingled with half a hin of oil. And thou shalt present for the drink offering half a hin of wine, for an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. Thus shall it be done for each bullock, or for each ram, or for each of the he lambs of the kids, according to the number that ye may prepare. So shall ye do for every one according to their number.
And when we read these things, a lot of people, if we were performing these things in this day and time, people would be like, oh, it's animal cruelty. Those people are doing voodoo. He snapped the neck of the bird and he started sprinkling the blood, and they would think we were nuts. But this is what God said to do. Time sheet.
All that are homeborn shall do these things after this manner. In presenting the offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever may be among you, throughout your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh, as ye do, so he shall do. As for the congregation, there shall be one statute both for you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you.
One
a
law.
Statute forever throughout your generations. As you are, so shall the stranger be before Yahweh. One law and one ordinance shall be both for you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you.
Right. There are a lot of things that we cannot do in this place that we live, in the lands of our captivity. But the things that we can do, we should be practicing. We just had Shavuot a few weeks ago. We understand that we can't bring offerings in this land, but we bring a memorial. We all bake our breads. We do the best that we can to show the Most High that, hey, we're trying. When it's time for us to come into the land, we're going to be ready to perform the things that we need to do. We do what we can do. We're just not going to say, oh, we can't do nothing. So what you doing this for? We have to prepare ourselves to get up out of this place and stop making excuses for everything that we can't do. Time sheet.
And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land whither I bring you, then it shall be that when ye eat of the bread of the land, ye shall set apart a portion for a gift unto Yahweh. Of the first of your dough ye shall set apart a cake for a gift.
Is God going to eat the cake? Of course not. Time sheet.
As that which is set apart of the threshing floor, so shall ye set it apart. Of the first of your dough ye shall give unto Yahweh a portion for a gift throughout your generations.
Right.
And when ye shall err, and not observe all these commandments, which Yahweh hath spoken unto Moshe, even all that Yahweh hath commanded you by the hand of Moshe, from the day that Yahweh gave commandment, and onward throughout your generations, then it shall be, if it be done in error by the congregation, it being hid from their eyes, that all the congregation shall offer one young bullock for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor unto Yahweh, with the meal offering thereof and the drink offering thereof, according to the ordinance, and one he-goat for a sin offering.
Because there's a difference between presumptuous sin and sin by
a strong hand.
Right. So it's like, okay, you wanted to commit this sin, but if you didn't know you were committing a sin, it's different. You know, the lofty, the high and the lofty, I'm going to kill this man. Premeditation. That's different. But you sin with error. You didn't know that you were sinning, but once it's made known to you, this is what you need to do. Time sheet.
And the priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and they shall be forgiven, for it was an error. And they have brought their offering, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, and their sin offering before Yahweh for their error. And
before the priest makes a offering for the congregation, what does the priest have to do?
Make one for himself.
Make one for himself. Because he has to be right before the Most High God before he can clear the congregation. Time sheet.
And all the congregation of the children of Israel shall be forgiven. And the strangers that sojourn from among them, for in respect of all the people, it was done in error.
Right.
And if one person sin through error, then he shall offer a she-goat of the first year for a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for the soul that erreth, when he sinneth through error, before Yahweh, to make atonement for him, and he shall be forgiven.
And it's very important to look at the type of animals. You have he-goats, you have she-goats. So we were in a people that we always had animals because we had to. It was part of our culture. We had offerings. We had different things that we did on the Shabbat. There was always offerings on Shabbat every week, right? Our holy days, when people sinned, when you did this, when women were coming back from their nidah, they had different offerings. So we had to have these things set up. So when we get back to who we are, I know right now most of us were born here. Unless you come from an island and you are familiar with dealing with animals and goats and sheep and stuff like that, we have to get back into that. We got to put our hands in the soil. We were agricultural people. You got to get that green thumb again. I want to do it. I know we got to start small. If you live in a building, get you a little plant. Plant some parsley or mint or something. But that's what we have to learn again. Unless you want to keep eating the stuff on the back of the loaf of bread that you can't even read and spell and don't know what it is. 100 ingredients for this one piece of bread? I don't even understand it. So we have to grow our stuff and learn how to be the people that we were. Time sheet.
Both he that is homeborn among the children of Israel and the stranger that sojourn from among you. Ye shall have one Lord for him that doeth aught in error. But the soul that doeth aught with a high hand, whether he be homeborn and stranger, the same blasphemeth Yahweh. That soul shall be cut off from among his people. Because he hath despised the word of Yahweh, and hath broken his commandment, that soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him.
Right. So that's a high hand. He said you're going to be cut off. We don't know what cut off is. Cut off could mean death. Cut off, the Most High God could take your mind. You ever seen somebody with their mind just go?
Yeah.
Yesterday they was cool, but now today they think they're the mayor of New York City. I had a guy tell me, yo, I got 2 limos coming, yo. And Diddy's gonna be there too, man, because you know what I'm saying, yo, yeah, and I'm rich. I got what? I got millions in the bank. And then 2 minutes later, you know what he said to me? He said, yo, let me hold $20. It's a thin line between sanity and insanity. So we don't really know what cutoff could be. Cutoff could be anything. Cutoff could be you saying, you know what, I don't mess with Israelites, man, because they just be phony. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to deal with it. That's why I don't go out nowhere. So what you do? Nothing. Oh, okay. Enjoy. Enjoy doing your nothing, because that's you cutting yourself off. The Most High God just cut you off because you don't want to involve yourself in the struggle. This is a real thing. So being cut off, we don't know what it could be many things. Tamshi.
And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks upon the Shabbat day.
What? Gathering sticks? What could he be gathering sticks for? Is he going to start a fire? Was he gathering the sticks for the Mesiba Achrei Shabbat? Mesiba's party. What's the purpose of you gathering sticks? What's the purpose of you going to work on Shabbat? What's the purpose of you getting on your laptop and buying your ticket for Jamaica on Shabbat? What's the purpose of you? There's so many things that we can say that we can equate to this. He was gathering sticks for what person? I don't know. But violation of the Shabbat, gathering sticks is not something that you're supposed to do. Time sheet.
And they that found them gathering sticks bore him unto Moshe and Aharon and unto all the congregation. And they put him in ward because it had not been declared what should be done to him.
They didn't know what to do with him. So what they do? Put him in jail. They put him in ward. Time sheet.
And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, the man shall surely be put to death.
Whoa.
All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation bore him without the camp and stoned him with stones. And he died as Yahuwah commanded Moshe.
And they said the congregation brought him. All the people.
Everybody.
You little children, you watch this too. Those who don't like blood, you make sure your eyes is on him. Everybody's going to watch this so that they hear and fear and do no such thing. Right? Time sheet.
And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them throughout their generations fringes on the corner of their garments, and that they put with the fringe of each corner a thread of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe that you may look upon it.
You missed the part. You missed the part where it said the tzitzit has to be white.
Negative.
Huh?
It's not there.
It's not there? The tzitzit has to be black.
Not there.
This is confusing. So you mean to tell me that if I just put a fringe, so long as it has that cord of blue, I'm okay?
Dang, 4.
Ooh, 4 on 4 corners. So I could have blue tzitzit with a blue strand. I could have a black tzitzit with a blue strand. I could have a white tzitzit with a blue strand. Pink with a blue strand. Purple with a blue strand. Whoa, this is news to me. So if I wanted to make, because our brethren that come from Jamaica, if he want to put the Jamaican colors with a blue strand, he can do that? Amazing. What about the white without the blue strand? Is that? No, you can't do that. Whatever you do, you make sure you have that blue string on there.
Cord of blue.
That's right. That's to kill it. And guess what? God said, my Lord's not so far that you got to go up in the skies or go into the sea. To kill it, they try to tell us it comes from a fish. And you can only get to kill it from a fish. God never said that. I didn't read that. Nope. Why do what if I can't swim? The fish are evading me. How am I supposed to get this to kill it? Let's be smart here. Get you some blue string. You can go to Michael's. You can go to any fabric store, get you some strands. Make sure you have 4 corners. 4 corners on the garment. The Most High God never said to put tzitzit all around the border. He never said that. He said 4 corners, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Is that, we understand this? Let's read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and,
And
remember all the commandments of Yahweh and do them.
That's the only purpose. These are not spiritual, whatever that you want to call them. I had a lady in the building, and it's to show you that people are watching you. I lost a tzitzit. Oh, man. I don't like when I lose a tzitzit. But this lady came, and she put it in a nice, pretty box, and it had a bow on it. She said, you dropped this, and I know that you're the only person that wears these. And I said, I opened the box, and my zit was laying there nice and clean. I was like, wow. Amazing. I was like, thank you. She's like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I could touch it or not. People respect you. This was a white woman. I said, thank you. People know if you drop a tzitzit in your neighborhood, they gonna come and bring it back to you. Yo, because I always see this brother, that sister with them strings. They got them strings on. Yeah. Me and my brother Yosef, y'all know him as Gabbai Yosef at Beit Shalom. We were in Flatbush hanging out. And I was down the block, but some dudes rolled up on him. And they was talking aggressive. So I seen it, and I started, moving fast toward the situation. And I got there, and my tzitzit was flinging. And he said, oh, yo, we didn't know y'all was Israelites. You know why they did that? You know who they knew? They knew Nathanael and Yachael and all the princely poor sons and the brothers from Shema. Because they was holding it down. They wore their coach and they had their tzitzit. The dude looked so scared when he saw my tzitzit, like, oh man, I done stepped in some Zoah. He said, Yoshi had it on his tzitzit. He just couldn't see them. But my tzitzits were flying all across the world. He's like, oh, yo, my bad. I didn't know y'all was Israelites. So when we represent, people are watching. It'll get you out of trouble. Unless you're doing stupidness and you have tzitzit on, because it could have went the other way. They could have been like, oh, y'all them Israelites? Uh-oh, now we got trouble. But it didn't go that way. Time sheet.
And that ye go not about after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go astray.
Again,
that ye may
that's
remember.
The only purpose. So that you could look down and you could say, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I shouldn't be going there. And I hope the people, you Israelites out there, wherever you are, if you traveling and you going to McDonald's, that them people look at you like, with disdain. Now, you know you ain't supposed to be in here. What you ordering? Because it don't matter what they, oh, I'm just getting some French fries. I'm just getting some French fries. They cook the French fries in vegetable oil. Go make your own French fries, man. Bring French fries to work. Time sheet.
That ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God.
Right.
I am Yahweh your God who brought you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Yahweh your God. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. He said, be holy. The Most High God told us to be holy. Again, I want to stress this to y'all. That word fear. Fear is a conqueror, but courage defeats all. Courage is amazing. Don't let fear stop you from doing the things that you want to do. Go to the Most High God, and He will give you that strength and the courage that you need. I'm telling you. My brother says, when he has an issue, he lays it out and he prays over it. I said, I'm going to try that. I was studying for something. I laid it all out on the bed. I had my books there, and I started praying over it. I passed that test with nothing. Just lay it all out in front of the Most High God. But don't sit there and think that he's just going to give you the knowledge. You're going to wake up and boom, I'm smart. You better open that book and...
I have arrived.
Let me get some water. I got water, I got gum, I have chips. Because you want to be up and you want to study and retain that information that you need. You have to put some work in too. Hallelujah. 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 I hope and pray that you all got something out of this lesson. And I pray that the Most High God will give us the strength and the courage that we need. And not be fearful like those spies that brought back the bad report. We thank the Most High God. And he will give us our courage back. Because he is the great King. And he hears our prayers. Hallelujah. At this time, I'll say the words of the blessing. And I pray that the Most High God will hear these words coming from my mouth. And I stand up here.